I know you're probably wondering how I made this beautiful piece and how I achieve all these glitters. You know, right?
You don't have to break a bank, oh, but you still spend money.
I'm over the moon right now. Let's get to it.
For real, this section is a lot of work from drafting to pattern to sewing to everything.
Structuring of lace or applique, at this point, you need all the energy you can get from your brain because no be easy work. Of course, you have to glue everything down with oil gum. I had to manage at this point because oil gum is just so expensive. Then I attack all appliques down or lace as you call it because I don't take risks. Why should I? After doing all that, I had to add bit to this to make it shine. And then our glitters. Let's take it back to the production of this piece.
The first step of making a dress can be so boring because you can't actually visualize what you are making. All you have is paper and you have to do a lot of crawling. I folded my pattern into two for my front and back bodies. After doing so, I marked all my horizontal measurement from my hip line to knee line and also the skirt line. I divided all the horizontal measurements by 4 and transferred them to my pattern. Hip divided by 4 and input for the back as well as for the front. Then the knee line is gotten by getting the midpoint of the hip line to the actual knee line. That is where we get the knee line where we start to, shape out our A line, our trumpet. After doing that, the knee line is snatched by going in for the front by 2 inches and for the back 1 inch for the zipper area and 1 inch for the side area. You can do 1.5 inch if you don't want it too tight. And after doing that, I close always that and connect that back again with a paper. Remember the rule, any that you close, you need to connect the lines again in order to have the actual line back. So our pattern is ready and the next step is to transfer this pattern into my fabric. So the first thing I did was to transfer to the lining of the lace itself, and I slit the pattern on the knee line that we got and place it like this. So I'm trying to spread it out for the front and for the back. So the actual way to spread the back is like times 2 of the front because of the trim length, and I left some space beneath as well because I'm using 3 yards of bridal satin, which is not that much. So I'll be spreading it out equally for the front and for the back bodies, ensuring that I have extra train length for the back. I pinned my pattern to my fabric just to keep them in place. At this point, I was trying to manage my pin. Why would I have just 2 pins in my studio right now? I couldn't get any of the pins. Well, it worked out just fine. And after doing that, I went ahead again to confirm my measurement. I did a lot of adjusting at this point. That is the one privilege that we have by cutting directly to your pattern first. I adjusted the skirt part of the front and the back bodies so they can be equal. After doing that, I check all my measurements and repin the fabric, the pattern rather, where it's necessary to do so. Just ignore the me stepping on the fabric because all fabrics should be laundered after sewing. That is necessary. Added about 1 inch allowance to the hemline of the skirt, 2 inches to the side of the front as well as for the back, 1.5 inch to the zipper area of the skirt, and just tracing it down to about half inch down the skirt line. After doing so, I cut out, ensuring that when cutting your skirt part, your front skirt part is on fold because there is no joining at the center front. I transferred to my lace fabric, which is just about 60 inches. So with that, I need to add extra lace for the trail extension. But for the front, the first thing I did was to confirm the side measurement of the front and ensure it's equal to the side measurement of the back, and I remove the extra excess of the front like I'm doing here. I slit the midpoint, the allowance that will be joined with it, and cut out the excess out. So by the time I'll be joining it, just look carefully. By the time I'll be joining it, I have equal savage as the center front. And for the back as well, look at the amount of lace we need to add. We have a lot to be added. So the first thing I did was to cut out the sides first, and after doing that, the mistake I did was I should have added the selvage first before cutting it, but that's really fine. And I went ahead to slit the selvage as well for the back, and I added the extra lace in between it, checking the measurement the extra needed on the bridal fabric first, and confirming that, adding the extra seam allowance that will be used to join it. And after doing that, I trimmed it out, and I realized that the lace part was really shorter. By the time I placed it the way to be sewn, it became shorter than the bridals, and I had to trim out the excess on the side of the bridals. Okay, and I trimmed out the applique. I have the detailed video on how this is carried out, so do well to check it out, and how I enclose my seam lines at the back of my edges. Thank you for watching up to this point, and please do well to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the designing aspect of making this beautiful dress. You don't want to miss that at all. Trust me, it is very detailed. And see you in my next one. Bye.